Freud is in many ways influenced, I think, by Romanticism. He was very interested in Jean-Jacques Rousseau, for example. But whereas Rousseau sees that inner space, that inner psychological self as being pristine, Freud does not. For Rousseau, for example, the unspoiled human being would not really need law, because law is only necessary once we become kind of twisted by society. If I'm Rousseau's noble savage, the man untouched by the corruptions of society, walking across the plains, and I see another human being suffering, say being beaten up or attacked, my natural instincts will be to go and help them, because I will feel an immediate empathy. I don't need an external law telling me to help the one in trouble. The cry of nature of our common humanity will be enough to do that. But Freud, and I think Freud more accurately sees that inner space that Rousseau has identified as being so important for who we are is not a blithe and happy place. It's a dark and destructive place, where the Romantics saw the inner self as a sort of idyllic area. Freud sees it as dark and sinister, characterized by violent sexual desires. And Freud goes further than that. He extends this back to childhood. In his 3 essays on sexuality, he articulates a taxonomy of human development, whereby every stage in human development, from infancy to the grave, can be understood in terms of the nature of our sexual desires. Notice what he's doing there. He's doing more than just darkening the inner space at that point. He's also making sexual desire part of the core, if not the core, of what it is to be a human being. With Freud, if you like, sex becomes something you are, not something you do. I had a fascinating piece of hate mail this afternoon from what I would describe as a queer revolutionary socialist, lambasting me for my ignorance about this, that, and the other. And one of the things that this person was stressing was that there have been gay and queer people throughout history. Well, I would dispute that. I would say there's been homosexual sex throughout history, most certainly. But to say that there have been people who've identified as homosexuals throughout history is a very different thing. Certainly wasn't the case in ancient Greece, where there was a lot of homosexual activity. But the idea of identifying as a gay person, identifying oneself in terms of one's sexual desires, was really not part of the Greek experience at all. It's really with Freud that becomes plausible. And if you define yourself as lesbian, gay, bi, or straight, then you are conceding the Freudian point that you are identified, that your identity is grounded in your sexual desire.